Good evening, folks. I have been mayor of Massillon. This is my 24th year. Been in public office. This is my 38th year. So, been around a long time. Seen the good, seen the bad. And if you know me, I'm pretty upfront with what my policies are, my economic development policies are. And I sort of always emphasize the positive of what's going on in our community. And there's a lot of positive going on in Massillon. If you have a plan, you need to stick to this plan, and I think we've done that. If you look at our city 20 years ago and compare our city now, there's been a lot of major improvements in a lot of different areas. As all of you know, industry comes and industry goes, unfortunately. And we have gained a lot of industry, more industry, new industry. And I think we've diversified our economic base, and that's something that we're very proud of, especially in the industrial sector. In the retail commercial center area, there's a lot of development downtown. I'm a firm believer that downtown is a neighborhood. And as a strong believer in neighborhoods, we needed to do something out of the box, something extraordinary, and that is to redevelop our downtown area. And as all of you have noticed, our downtown, I feel, is a lot more vibrant than what it was several years ago. And it's changing, but it's a different type of downtown. We also pride ourselves in some of the big boxes. I mean, some communities want to knock big boxes. I think what you have to understand is that retail business folks decide where they want to locate. Some communities across the state, across this country, have fought these big boxes. And guess what happens? The big box has already done all their demographic studies, and that indicates where they want to be and where they want to construct a facility. If the city government fights them, then you know what they do? They move outside the city, and then the city doesn't benefit. There are countless examples of that. Prior to 2001, the city of Massillon basically had one, maybe two, of what they called the big boxes. Now look around our community. The city of Massillon has most of the national big boxes, and I don't really have to give you their names, but I think that says something. If business wants to locate here, then that means that this must be a good place to do business. Also, our downtown. We had to revitalize our downtown, and the city was directly involved with that and all the redevelopment plans. And that was important because you have to change with progress. And a lot of times, progress can be painful, progress can be expensive, but you have to do it because if you don't do it, the alternatives are a lot worse. In the residential areas, again, look at what's happened in Massillon in the last 20 years. And proof of this is if you look at the last three census numbers. And each year the city of Massillon has gone up in population. This year, recently, they just announced the 2010 census. We have 32,149. What other city of similar size or similar characteristics in Northeast Ohio or even all of Ohio can say that they gained in population? The state average of population growth was 1.6% between 2000 and 2010. In the city of Massillon, it was 2.6%. So we're actually improving our housing. So if you just sum it all up in a short 5 minutes, you have to understand that we've come a long way. Is everything perfect? Well, of course not. Do we still have a lot of work to do? Of course we do. And I do need 4 more years to complete some of the projects that we're embarking upon. There are several industries looking at Massillon. One in particular would be very outstanding if we can attract this company here. It's a $2 billion corporation. And Stark County has one site, and that's in Massillon. So, as you can see, how does all this become possible? Well, you have to have land. You have to have the availability of land in order to attract companies, as well as working with the existing companies.
My name is Kathy Catazera Perry, and I'm running for mayor of Massillon. because I believe I'm the best candidate to move the city forward and work together with everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about myself. I am married to Anthony Perry. My husband is in the audience. He's an internal medicine physician right down here, right behind BW3's. We have 6 children, ranging in age from 29 down to 3. Our newest addition is a little boy we just adopted from China, and his name is Anthony also. My father was a Canton police officer, and he loved his work and was very proud of his job, and he has passed away about 16 years ago. My mother, her name is Carol Grossi, and she is retired and has relocated to Louisville, Kentucky. But they both instilled in me a strong work ethic and a desire to serve my community. I have a bachelor's degree in business management from Malone College. I'm a registered nurse, and I've worked in the hospitals the past 24 years. I worked my way through nursing school, and I went to school in the evening so I could stay at home with my children during the day. I'm a graduate of Leadership Stark County, as well as the government program of Leadership Stark County. Now, I want to tell you a story because my daughter Vanessa was born at 2 pounds 11 ounces, and she has a disability called Down syndrome. She changed my life. I wanted to grow up to be a vice president in the hospital, but instead, I ended up resigning my position, and I stayed home with her because she had to be tube fed. She was too weak to suck. She finally was discharged after 5 weeks in the NICU, and I wanted to return to work. So I looked around Stark County, and I couldn't find a center that I felt was adequately appropriate to care for her. So I started my own center with my very good business partner and friend, Terry Frank. And we worked on this for several years and finally got it off the ground. And it's a not-for-profit. It's a special needs center located in Canton, Ohio. And it's located in Canton, Ohio because a wonderful, generous gentleman, Guy Cicchini, gave us a building for $1 a year. It's centrally located so we can serve people in Toledo, and Columbus, and Canton, and Massillon, and Malvern. So it's a wonderful facility. We started out with 2 children. We're now at 78. So I currently am the Executive Director of Operations and Medically Fragile Children at the center. I work with budgets, payroll, numbers all day long. It's difficult for our parents in our community to secure affordable child care, so we have special rates so that everyone can participate. I work together with local foundations, the City of Canton, to make our program a success. Previously, I worked at Doctors Hospital and then at Albany Hospital in leadership positions, and I was the Director of Weight Management and also of the Wound Healing Center. This is my 8th year on City Council, and I have always worked to put the public interest ahead of special interest. I'm not afraid to stand up and say what I believe to be right and oppose what I believe to be wrong. Community service is very important to me. I've been chairman of the Stark County Library Foundation as well as the Greater Massillon Foundation here, right in Massillon, and past member of the Massillon Boys and Girls Club. I am the founder and coach of a special needs cheerleading team, and we function out of Canton and Akron, and we hope to perform for the President of the United States. But more importantly, I'm going to tell you about why I decided to run for mayor. I cannot sit back any longer and watch our crisis management in city government. We don't have a balanced budget, and we've worked very hard to cut costs, and we have approved a budget just recently. It's a new day in Massillon, and we need new leadership. And I believe I'm the best candidate to move our city forward and take our city back. I'm Kathy Kaiser.
I represent my husband, Lee Brunkhart, this evening. He sends his deepest apologies for not being able to be here, but he is working. Contrary to what supporters of Ohio Senate Bill 5 think, not all public employees can take the time off. Having said that, he will be driving past the library off and on all night. He wanted to let you know that he will be there on Thursday night for the Meet the Candidates night. I want to talk to you tonight about what makes Lee different from the other candidates. He is not someone who has had a long political career. He does not hold a degree from a university, nor is he personally involved in a business venture. He has spent the past last 12 years of his life serving the citizens of Starr County at SARTA. He is the common working man. Lee understands what it means to work hard for everything he has. At age 10, he began a paper route so that he could obtain a moped. When that took too long, he decided he was going to double his routes so he could meet his goal. He saw his future, he set his goal, and he achieved it. He has not stopped working since. He has worked in fast food, as a delivery person, a truck driver, and a realtor before going to SARTA. He has experience as a laborer, management, an entrepreneur, and a 3-term union trustee. He knows how to run a business, balance the books, and manage employees while understanding the issues of blue-collar workers. And yes, he is a Republican. Lee believes government must practice fiscal responsibility and allow individuals to keep more of the money that they make. He has no plans to raise city taxes, but desires to work with each city department head, union official, and employee to discover new ways to help the city run more efficiently. He believes free enterprise and encouraging individual initiatives brings economic growth and prosperity to us all. Lee wants to develop an economical plan that would market Massillon not only nationally, but internationally as well. He wants to draw businesses in the fields of both green and clean energies, as well as medical technologies and manufacturers of technology-based products. Lee believes that we need jobs that we can raise our families on. He says, if you cannot raise your family on an income, then you cannot run the city on its tax revenue. Lee also believes that the proper role of government is to provide for the people only those critical functions that cannot be performed by individuals or organizations. Golf courses, hotels, and restaurants are not critical functions of this city. But building bridges are. Lee thinks that taking over 3 years to complete the Tremont Bridge is unacceptable and that it negatively impacted businesses as well as citizens alike. When Lee looks into his playbook, he sees a large group of 40 or 50-somethings that are laborers who aren't running back to college to get a degree. They are proud laborers and hard workers. What they lack is work, not initiative. We are also facing the fact that when our children go away to college, they do not return home because there are no jobs for them here. Lee would like to work with private industry to build 4 plants: a hydroelectric plant, methane production plant, a natural organic breakdown plant, and a hydrogen manufacturing plant. Some people may tell you that these are just big dreams that will fall through. But to quote Thomas Edison, the reason a lot of people don't recognize opportunities is because it usually goes around wearing overalls and looking like work. But I remind you of who Lee is. He is a man who sees the future, sets his goals, and achieves them. He has been working since the age of 10. He is not afraid of the hard work ahead of him.
Born and raised in Massillon, Ohio, I attended St. Mary's Catholic School. I'm also a member of St. Mary's Church. I briefly did leave Massillon and relocated to Jackson Township when my mother became ill, to a more accessible house for her. During that time, I attended Jackson High School. Post-high school, I attended Ashe University, where I earned a bachelor's degree, double majored in criminal justice, business administration, and a minor in marketing. During my time at Ashland, specifically the time I spent at the Doubt College of Business and Economics, I focused mainly on financial planning, specifically dealing with low-income families. I showcased my skills in multiple competitions around the country, placing first at Purdue University, making me the regional champion, and first runner-up at the national competition in the University of Arizona at Tucson. At the present time, I'm the property manager for Ozer Realty and Ozer Properties. Regular duties there include contract negotiations, lease negotiations, oversight of any construction activities happening at the time, as well as ensuring that our company collects rents and payments in a timely fashion, or taking appropriate action to ensure that accounts are not in arrears. As for my goals for Massillon, I don't have a grandiose vision. I'll be the first one to say that. I'm a realist. My primary goal is to ensure the financial stability of this town and to ensure that the Massillon taxpayers are getting their biggest bang for their tax dollars. I want to focus spending on what will benefit this city and the residents most. Our parks are suffering right now, as I'm sure many of you know, due to the massive weight of the debt of the golf course on its back. We're doing ridiculous things in this town, like paying private mortgages on private businesses, i.e. the hotel, with a balloon payment coming due in several years that is going to cripple this city's budget. These are not wise moves for this town. Our present leadership has put us in these situations. It needs to stop. We need someone new. To develop an effective budget, I will be approachable and hands-on with city workers, city department heads, and citizens of this town. In addition, I plan to work closely with city council, the auditor, and department heads to develop a plan for this town to ensure the stability of Massillon for the future. Lastly, I'd like to see downtown thrive like it once did. There have been changes in the recent years, but I think we can do far better. The city of Worcester, as I've cited in some of my previous statements, has a plan that's more than doubled their downtown land value in the last 4 years. They've got restaurants downtown, not just bars, but restaurants, some of which have been noted in national publications for fine dining. They've got a 95% occupancy rate above the residences above their storefronts. All these are great things that Massillon can have. We have to realize that downtown is not what it was. It's not a retail sector in the most strictest sense. Right? We need to get back or get away from that and that mindset. Art galleries, fun shops, unique shops, thrift stores, things of that nature are all thriving in downtowns all around the country, and we're missing out on that. And I believe that a complete downtown revitalization through various tax incentives and working together in detail with various departments of the city could totally change our downtown for the better and make it thrive once again. If you go downtown at 9 o'clock in the evening tonight, it'll be better than a doornail. There's not much there. There's not much going on. We need to change that. In closing, I have simple visions for Massillon. All of them just include stability for this town and putting us in a situation that we can move in the future. Thank you. I'm Andrew Oser.